What's up, guys? It's your girl Erica, the PR Diva and Yulu. I'm an award-winning serial entrepreneur, entertainment publicist, and the founder of the largest keto club on Clubhouse called the Keto Diet Club. Your inside kitchen on road, brought to you by PiliPili Spices and Set Productions. On today's episode, I'm cooking a lot of keto must-haves. For those that don't know, I lost 80 pounds on the ketogenic diet during the pandemic. So today I'm cooking some keto lasagna, I'm cooking keto jollof rice, and now I'm cooking keto barbecue jerk chicken. I'm making a side salad, and as well, for dessert, a keto cheesecake. So today I'm making keto jollof rice, and this is gonna be the stew that we saturate with the rice. So what you're gonna need is 1 red bell pepper. You're gonna use some garlic cloves. You're gonna get some chopped ginger root. You're gonna get a seasoning cube, some red onion, some Scotch bonnet peppers for that extra flavor. You're gonna get some dried rosemary, some nutmeg, some tomato paste, or you can blend 3 tomatoes. You're gonna get some PiliPili dried thyme, the PiliPili curry powder, and last but not least, you're gonna use some PiliPili pink salt. All right, so now I'm gonna prepare my ingredients for the stew of the jollof rice. Make sure you clean your stuff. So I'm gonna chop this up. The goal is just to get the stem out and all the insides and get all the seeds out. So I'm just chopping up my red bell pepper. Again, you don't have to chop them up too small because this is gonna be all blended in the blender. I'm also gonna chop some garlic. I'm also gonna chop some ginger root, peel it out nicely. These are all really nice, authentic flavors to make your jollof taste delicious. And mince it really small. Okay, there we go. We're also gonna take a few cloves of garlic. And the best part is I don't really have to chop it up because we're blending this in the blender. Okay, do an onion. And this is the nice, nutritious red onion. There's a lot more nutritional value in red onion than there is in the other onions. So we always recommend you using the red onions when making the jollof. Uh-oh, I'm gonna start crying. Always make sure you chop the onions far away from your eyes because you don't want to be tearing out like me. Okay. We have mostly everything ready. We're gonna blend this whole and we're ready to get this stew together. All right, so now I'm gonna throw all of these ingredients into the blender. Okay, so now I'm gonna throw into the blender my red bell pepper, some garlic, some onions, the ginger, and the Scotch bonnet for that extra pepper. It hasn't even been blended yet, y'all, but this smells really, really good. Make sure you put it in the blender. Don't make it fall like me. And a 1/4 cup of water. So my ancestors tell me it's about this much, and we're good to go. Let's blend that up. All right, now we're going to blend all of our ingredients. You want a nice puree. You can do a quick smell check to see, whew, pepe. Let's go. Now we're gonna let this sit and get our pot ready with the oil and fry our onions and add this in next. Okay, so as you know, half of the other onion was blended. The other, we're just gonna cut it into strips and add it into the oil that we're gonna prepare the stew in. So now you can use about 1/2 cup of olive oil, any pretty much clean oil, avocado oil, anything that can reach at least 400 degrees Fahrenheit when you're cooking. And also you get nutritional value with the certain oils you choose, so make sure the oils are clean. There we go. I'm gonna throw in my onions and we're gonna fry this up for a few minutes just to get it a bit caramelized. And we're gonna have this frying at medium heat and then warm it up a little bit. So now we're just frying the red onions in the oil for about a minute or so. You want it to be nice and caramelized. Then we're gonna add our tomato paste and fry that down. And then our blended homemade paste. Now we've put our tomato paste, our blended paste, our red onions are cooking up, and then I'm gonna add a bit of fresh dry rosemary for that extra flavor. And then you're gonna pretty much cook this down for another 10 to 20 minutes. You wanna get all the moisture and water out. It's looking beautiful already. So now we're just gonna let everything simmer for about 15 to 20 more minutes. You're gonna wanna adjust your heat because you don't wanna burn it. So always continuously stir your stew. And we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients to this mix as it cooks down. You just wanna get all the moisture out and incorporate all the ingredients together. So up next, we have our seasoning cube. I'm gonna crumble that in. This is a chicken flavor. It gives a really, really good flavor. Break it down like so. And again, stir it. I'm gonna lower my heat. As you see, it's bubbling up. Okay, and then we're gonna use some PiliPili curry powder. Not too much, just a bit. We're gonna use our PiliPili thyme. So next we're gonna use our PiliPili pink sea salt, and you're gonna add it to your taste. Not too much, just a pinch or so. I'm gonna lower that and just continuously stir for about 15 to 20 minutes. All right, so now we're gonna prepare our rice for the jollof. And guys, this is the key ingredient. You know, the rice is what we need to eat. It's low carb. And I use a cognac flour rice. You can get any brand. You can also substitute with cauliflower rice, but this is what you can do to substitute the regular rice. It has a lot of gluten in it and a lot of wheat and stuff that our body doesn't need. So this is why I substitute with this. I lose a lot of weight. And honestly, guys, it tastes really good. So now we're gonna prepare it. We're just gonna strain it and rinse it out. The product comes in a solution that you need to clean out. So I'm just gonna strain it in my sink for about a few minutes with hot steaming tap water because it has like a funky smell to it. So by doing this, it gets rid of the smell and it cleans the rice. Do this for about 5 minutes. Okay, so now after we've cleaned off the rice for 5 minutes, again, you wanna get the odor out of the rice. You wanna clean it down. We're gonna throw it into the pot and cook it down for another few minutes on medium to high heat to get the excess water out of this before we add the stew to make this jollof. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're just gonna be cooking this from medium to high heat. As you can see, I'm just warming it up. I'm trying to get all the excess moisture out of the rice. And then you'll know it's done. As you can see, it starts popping up just like popcorn. This is when you know the rice is ready. And then we're gonna add a stew in it. Because I love my little flavor, I'm gonna add a bit more salt to this rice. Again, this is the PiliPili sea salt, just to give the rice flavor. You don't have to do too much. And we're gonna do some thyme. And just continue stirring it up, getting all the moisture out. And it also gives the rice extra flavor. Again, we're gonna do this for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna start adding our stew. Okay, so as you can see, it's looking nice. The moisture is leaving it, it's expanded, has a lot of flavor. Oop, there you go, it's popping now. So now we're gonna lower the heat, and we're gonna add our stew. I'm just gonna eyeball this. And you're gonna add the stew little by little. You don't want this to be too soggy. I'm gonna mix it together. And you're gonna eyeball it. And you just wanna nicely saturate the rice. I'm gonna add a bit more stew. And then you're gonna cook this down for a few more minutes. Make sure not to overcook it. Put it on a lower heat. And then you have some amazing keto jollof rice. All right, so up next is barbecue jerk chicken. Here is some fresh wings, and I'm gonna make sure, guys, clean your chicken. Vinegar, scrub it down. I'm gonna let it sit. I like to let mine sit for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then let it sit, let it do its thing, and then we're gonna prepare the wings. Make sure you clean your chicken. I had this sitting for like 10 to 20 minutes. As you can see, the water is clear. That is when you know your chicken is clean. So I'm just gonna quickly drain out this water, And you just want to get rid of all the moisture as best as you can. And then now we're going to season it. All right, for this part, I'm going to put my gloves on. All right, so now our chicken is nicely drained and I'm just going to add the seasonings. So here we have some garlic powder. We have some onion powder. And then I'm going to use some PiliPili thyme, a little bit of salt, and of course, some PiliPili jerk seasoning. As well, we're gonna use some wet jerk seasoning. Now, I'm gonna rub everything together. You wanna massage the chicken wings and make sure everything is well coated and incorporated. It smells really, really good. After this, we're gonna let this sit for about 10 to 20 minutes, covered and chilled in the refrigerator, and then we're gonna pop it into our air fryer. This is one of the most healthiest way to prepare jerk chicken wings. Okay, so now we're gonna put it in the fridge and let it set, and I'll be right back. All right, so just to finish off the seasonings, I'm gonna add some fresh minced garlic and red onions. It really brings out the flavor. And after that, I'm going to mix this all together. I'm gonna pour it directly into the air fryer to let it cook up, just like so. Okay, so now you can use any type of aerosol oil spray. I like to use the avocado oil. It's very nutritious and it's keto and low carb approved. I'm gonna put very little oil. The wings are one of the most fattiest part of the chicken, so it is definitely good on a low carb keto lifestyle and diet. As you can see, I'm gonna spread them evenly in this air fryer. And the best part I love about the air fryer, it's really, really quick to cook. This will take roughly 24 minutes or so to cook all of these wings. You do flip them in the middle, and I'll get to that step soon. But again, we want to try to load it as much as we can at a time. I think that's good. I can squeeze maybe a few more. And then I'm going to spray more oil on top. Just like so, guys. Easy as that. And then I'm just going to now put on the air crisp at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm gonna lower it to 12 minutes on that one side. Let that cook, flip it over, and then we'll be back. All right, up next, I'm doing keto lasagna, and this is my lean ground beef. I try to stick to grass-fed ground beef because it's more healthier. And we're gonna also clean this with vinegar. I put a little bit with some cold water. And let it sit for a few minutes. All right, guys, so up next, we just finished cleaning out our ground beef. I let it sit in the vinegar water for about 10 to 20 minutes. The vinegar helps to make it tenderize on top of cleaning it. And then now we're just going to mash it up. I'm gonna brown it for about 10 to 20 minutes and then add my seasonings after. You could definitely season it prior to, but I like to do mine after. And this is, again, grass-fed lean ground beef. You can also use veal, you can use ground chicken, ground turkey, whatever your taste to make this lasagna unique to you. But I love lean ground beef. It has a lot of fat in it. It's really, really good on keto because you have to have moderate protein with high fat. So this is gonna brown for about 10-15 minutes. Then I'll be back with the seasonings. Okay guys, so this is the lean ground beef. It's been cooking now for about 15 minutes or so. As you can see, you want to cook it till all the redness is gone. And you can see, look at all the excess moisture and fat that came out of it. That's why whenever you're frying ground beef and cooking it, you don't really need to add any more oil to it because it brings out the fat. I like to leave it in my meat because it gives it extra flavor, and we need that extra fat on the keto and low carb diet. All right, so the chicken wings have been cooking now on one side for about 12-13 minutes or so. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to base it with our low carb barbecue sauce. And let's see how it looks. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. So these another 12 minutes. So what we're gonna do now is I'm going to just saturate the wings with some barbecue sauce, just like so. And we're gonna flip them and do the other side just like that so it cooks evenly. So what I love about the air fryer, it really uses less fat, less oil. Because the chicken wings are the fattiest part of the chicken, you don't really need that excess fat. So as you can see, the jerk is jerking, the barbecue's out here. It's gonna taste delicious. So now that's one side. I'm gonna flip them and do the other side. And we're gonna repeat the process on the other side and cook it for an additional 12 to 13 minutes. All right, so the more you continue to cook it up, the moisture gets taken away and absorbed into the meat. So all that fat is nicely incorporated back into the ground beef. It looks really, really nice and well done. I'm gonna now add some onion powder, some garlic powder. I'm gonna add some PiliPili black pepper, just a little bit for that extra kick. I'm gonna use some PiliPili all-purpose, a nice generous amount. I'm gonna use some PiliPili thyme. I'm gonna use some Cajun. Traditionally, this doesn't really need to be in lasagna meat, but I love it. I like that extra spice. Okay, and a bit of salt to taste. And we're just gonna mix that up nicely. Okay, as we added those dry seasonings into our meat, we're gonna add our fresh seasonings and veggies. So here is some minced garlic, red onion. I love my red onion, and of course some red bell peppers. And we're gonna stir this up for a bit, and then we're gonna add our low-carb pasta sauce. This gives it some nice color. We're gonna do this for a few more minutes, cook it down, and then add our pasta sauce. And this is a good part where you can actually taste your meat, test it out. Make sure it's to your taste, and then just adjust and add more PiliPili seasons where necessary. All right, guys, so as you can see, the meat is looking great with all of the wet and dry seasonings and veggies. Now you're gonna take a nice low-carb pasta or tomato sauce to finish up your meat for the lasagna. I like to use half a jar, generously eyeball that, okay, just like that. And we're gonna just nicely incorporate the meat into the pasta sauce. Look at that. And then a secret I love to do is, some people think it's crazy, but I like to add some sweetener into my meat sauce just to give it that extra kick. It balances out all of the flavoring. And I use a low-carb, keto-approved brown sugar. You can use a keto or low-carb white sugar, but I like to use the brown sugar. It gives it really, really good soulful vibes to your dish. And sprinkle a little bit of that generously, not too much. And now our sauce is ready to go. I'm gonna lower the temperature and let it simmer. All right, so now it's been about 26 minutes or so to cook both sides. So 12 one, 14 on the other. And this is the finished product of the barbecue jerk chicken wings. Look at that, nice and browned, nicely coated, nicely seasoned. Just look at that meat. We're gonna just place it to cool on our baking rack. Now, if you want to go in and add a bit more barbecue sauce, you can definitely do that to your taste. But look at this, looks delicious. And the best part is you saved a lot of cooking time by using the air fryer instead of using an oven. And there you have it, barbecue jerk chicken wings. All right, guys, so for my first batch of the barbecue jerk chicken wings, you see them, they're chilling. Now I just did strictly jerk. Look at that. This is, again, using the air fryer. No stoves were harmed in making this. It's strictly the air fryer. Look at the nice dark color with all the jerk. It's gonna taste really, really good. Simple as that. 25 minutes or so, you have some nice fresh jerk chicken wings. All right, guys, up next, I'm making my famous PR Diva low-carb keto cheesecake, and now we're gonna make the crust. So all you wanna do is get a regular baking dish. All right, we're gonna spray some avocado oil in there just so it doesn't stick. And then we have 1 cup of almond flour. So use any low carb flour of your choice, whether it's coconut flour, lupin flour. I love almond flour because it is low in carbs per serving. You don't want that white enriched flour. It has a lot of additives and gluten and wheat. We don't want those starches. Substitute for the nut flour. And then I'm gonna add some cinnamon and some keto sweetener just to give it that graham cracker feel. As well, we're gonna add some confectioner low carb keto sweetener. Again, these have no calories and it doesn't affect your glycemic index when you take it in. Okay, we're just gonna mix this together, incorporate it together, and then add this as our dough for this cheesecake and make a nice crust. And then we're gonna add 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna warm this in the microwave and pour it in, and I'll be right back. So now I just put the butter in here, and I'm now making it into a nice crust, which I'm gonna put inside my baking dish. So again, you use some cinnamon, some confectioner sweetener, some monk fruit sweetener, and the almond flour with the butter. And that's it. I'm just mixing it as much as I can. I'm gonna press it firmly into my baking dish. And you can taste this part to your liking. If you want to add more sweetener, you definitely can do it. Again, adding that cinnamon and keto sweetener gives it that graham cracker effect. We're gonna just put this in our baking tray, put in the oven on 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 8 minutes until it's nicely crispy brown. And then we're gonna add our batter in. Okay, so now as you can see guys, I'm just flattening the crust into my baking dish as so. You just want to be really, really careful not to break it up because it's very soft and tender. But as you can see, look how beautiful the color is. You do that as so, just like that. I'm just going to take some just to stretch it out here. And we're going to level it out so it's balanced everywhere. I'm just going to add some from the other corners to fill this area out. All right, here we go. I'm just gonna put in the oven on 350 degrees at the center of the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. See you soon. All right, so up next, we're gonna make the actual batter of our cheesecake. So this is really simple. You just need literally a few ingredients. I'm gonna use 2 room temperature whole eggs, just like so. We're gonna use, I like to use lactose-free cream cheese. I'm just gonna cube it. And the one that has nice fat to it is good. I am lactose intolerant. You don't have to use that type of cheese, but that's what I use. And I'm just gonna add 2 full blocks to this, just like so. Okay. I'm gonna use about a teaspoon of vanilla extract, just like so. And I'm gonna use a bit of lemon juice, about a teaspoon or so. I like to squeeze it in nice and fresh. Okay, and we're gonna use just a touch of the PiliPili pink salt. Okay, and use half a cup of our low carb confectioner sweetener. And that's it guys, very, very simple. And we're gonna blend it next and make our batter and pour that into our crust that's already baking in the oven. All right guys, so up next, now we have all of our ingredients in the blender. Again, all you have to do is blend them together. If you have a hand mixer, use whatever works for you. I like to make it simplified with my blender. There we go. All right, so let's look at this and see. You have a nice creamy batter that's perfect for your cheesecake. All right guys, so it's nice and smooth and we're gonna pour this into our nicely baked crust. Just like so. And you see how easy that is. A nice low carb keto approved cheesecake. And we're gonna pop it in the oven on 350 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. You're gonna see a bit of jelliness in the middle. That's when you know it's done. And if it cracks and gets a bit brown, that's also totally fine. Okay guys, so we're popping this in the oven on 300 degrees Fahrenheit, right in the center, and let it cook for about 25 to 30 minutes. You'll know it's done because you'll notice the insides may not be fully cooked, but it will raise to the top and it's gonna look really nice and brown. All right, so guys, this is my meat, my cheese, my ricotta cheese, and this is a secret ingredient. I call these the egg cauliflower wraps. I use this as a low carb substitute for the lasagna noodles. Guys, very low carbs, very low calories. You're in for a treat with this. So all you're gonna do is sprinkle your meat very, very sparingly for your base. And then we're just gonna top it with our first pasta shells, just like so. It's nice and thin. You could use this as a taco substitute. You could use this as a crepe substitute, pancake, waffle substitute, but they have such a neutral taste and I love using them for lasagna. I make these for my cousins, my parents, my siblings, they love it. Okay, I'm gonna add some more meat to this row here and just spread it nicely And then I'm gonna add some ricotta. And then I'm gonna just use dollops of my ricotta for this part and just sprinkle it just like so. Because I love my cheese, I'm gonna use my shredded cheddar cheese to coat this. I'm gonna spread it out as nicely as you can. And I'm gonna use a bit of my PiliPili salt, just a little bit, just to give it extra flavor, okay? And then we're gonna add some shredded cheese and continue the next steps until we finish this whole lasagna. So I'm gonna add more, add some sauce, add more cheese, put in the oven, and you're ready to rock with this lasagna. Okay guys, this is our finished product. Now I'm gonna bake it in the oven, uncovered for about 20 to 30 minutes. Hey, what's up guys? It's the PR Diva. I am back. I am tired, but let me tell you, there is a feast here, and I'm so excited to welcome a special guest that's gonna sample some of my amazing keto and low carb creations. Shout out to my sis, the queen, Kay Blair of Downtown World. Sis, how is it going? Hey.
Oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
Thank you.
Like you outdone yourself.
Thank you, and I'm excited for you to taste it because you're gonna be the real judge. So shout out to Set Productions and to PiliPili Spices. I used a lot of their ingredients to incorporate my low carb and keto dishes. I have keto lasagna, keto jollof, I have a nice mixed salad, I have keto jerk chicken and keto barbecue jerk chicken, and I saved the best for last. There's a low carb keto approved cheesecake with low carb chocolate drizzle and chocolate. Enjoy it.
Where can I start? Where can I start? So you're actually breaking my jollof virginity.
Oh, pressure, the pressure. Team Niger jollof though.
So I love a lot of cooking shows, and I've had like, you know, stuff like pilau, stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what flavor this has.
All right, let me know. You like it?
It's giving lots of flavor, good crunch, but not too crunch. Nice and savory.
Nice. Can you taste the spices in there, the pepper?
It's starting to come down
Good.
near the end.
Good.
It didn't come right at the beginning, but
All
it's
right.
really good.
All right.
Let me eat fruit mind your business.
All right. I recommend trying one of the wings next. One of the jerk wings or the barbecue jerk. So that's a jerk one, and this is a barbecue jerk.
Okay. I'm gonna squeeze a little lime.
Yep.
Is that okay?
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
It gives it that extra kick.
For the ones I'm gonna try.
So I use these. I made them in the air fryer. Less fat.
Is it hard to make like food in an air fryer? I've never
No,
tried.
much easier. It's been a lifesaver for me. Like I literally taught myself to become the chef I am using the air fryer, using certain appliances.
This is so amazing. I love all the flavor, like, and it just falling off the bone. So what convinced you to get into keto?
You know what? I had some friends that were on the lifestyle, and I used to look at them like they were crazy. And I'm like, what is this keto thing? I just thought like it was like every other fad diet. But I went to the ER. I was sick. I was tired of always yo-yo dieting. I was almost 300 pounds back in 2019, and enough was enough. And I said, you know what, let me try something. You know, all I have to do is change the way I eat. I have to change the way I think. And I was like, you know what, let me do this. Let's try it. And then fast forward now, 2020, 2021, I'm down 80 pounds and I'm living this as my lifestyle. And it's because of my why. I want to live longer. I want to be here long enough for my friends, my family, my peers. And, you know, health is wealth at the end of the day. So this is why I love this lifestyle.
I love this. So explain to me what's happening right here with this lasagna.
So this is a really delicious ricotta lasagna. It's lactose free with some of the cheeses I added in there. And instead of using pasta, I use egg cauliflower wraps, which are low carb, very limited calories. It doesn't feel heavy. It feels just like you're eating regular pasta. You would never realize, and it really tastes good. The sauce and the ingredients, the PiliPili seasonings, it really enhances into that pasta substitute. And again, you don't feel that fullness. And
That's the winner.
yeah.
They're all winners, but like,
Yes.
I've never had lasagna. Like I was like, what are you doing? And this is mind-blowing. Like, why are we even breaking shells?
Like some people like eggplant, but like I'm not a fan of eggplant. I'm not a fan of zucchini. I like the cauli egg wraps. Yeah, go dig it. It's all for you.
So like, I know that Erica, you are the PR diva, and you are like, your schedule is absolutely insane. And I always jokingly will be like with you, how do you do it all? But seriously, like as a Black woman entrepreneur, How do you balance this all? You're cooking yummy meals, you have your career, successful business at that,
Yes.
you're in press junkets, you're doing things, you have a clubhouse group of over 16 or 6K? Let me get my numbers correct.
For the keto, I have almost
just
7.
on Clubhouse in general, your followers.
Oh, about almost 7,000 now.
It's insane, and it's not just because it's a fad, but people are learning a lot from you. So how do you do all this?
Honestly, I trust in God and God above, and just being consistent, and just I have to do it. If I won't do it, who will? I've been a person where so many doors have closed in my face, and I had to start building my doors and walking through my own doors. And I just manage my time to the best of my ability. Don't get twisted. As an entrepreneur, sometimes you can get burnt out, but again, it's about having your strategy, being positive, being consistent, and just keep going, and don't let nobody stop you. And for me, I create this is what I do. I'm passionate about it. I love everything that I do. And I just want to, have this legacy for myself and my business that I can do it. If I can do it, anybody can.
I love that. So let me know what's going on here.
Okay, so this is the keto low carb cheesecake. Again, this is sugar free, guys. Sugar free. There's no sugar. It's all low carb and keto sugar. So when you eat this, it doesn't spike your insulin levels. It's good for your glycemic index. These are all low carb keto sweeteners that have no calories and no carbs. So again, you don't have to worry about it making you bloated or whatnot. This is really clean. It's pure. Look at that, guys. And I drizzled it with this chocolate. Sugar free as well.
I'm gonna just scoop a little bit more.
Go ahead.
I feel like it's gonna do what it needs to do. Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
It's okay. We're gonna do. I feel like I'm gonna need 2 bites.
So now I need to know that I passed the assignment.
Sarah Lee. Ooh. I made a whole yummy cheesecake with PiliPili. Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god. I'm not even a dessert person. I'm really not.
And that's what people have to know. This could be a lifestyle. Like people this is diet food. Yes, these are the type of foods that I ate that helped me lose the 80 pounds that I lost. And this is why I love eating keto. I love eating low carb, because you can still eat a variety of foods.
So let me ask you just one last question before I let you go. When you talk about just the future you and what you see for yourself coming and keto and everything, I know your vision is always bigger than this, but what can you let the people know you have going on or looking forward to?
Well, I look forward to building my keto community. I have the largest keto club on Clubhouse, almost 18,000 members and followers collectively. And I'm working on a website. I'm gonna work on some merch. I was featured in a magazine. I'm just doing a lot of amazing things in the keto space. And I would love to be on more shows like this. And you never know, I have a lot of things in store. I don't wanna share too much, but
eat fruit, mind your business. That's what she said.
That's right, period.
So I'm gonna finish all this food. You can wrap it up. I'm just gonna steal this right now.
Go ahead.
So can I steal this? You guys wrap up the show.
All right, guys, so that concludes this edition of Kitchen on the Road. I'm your girl, the PR Diva, and I'm signing out. I'm glad you guys are with me. Cheers. So do you want me to add lemon pepper to this?